Hello everyone, it is Calvin here. Thanks for checking in today's video. Today is June 5th, 2013 on a Wednesday. Lovely day in this market. Nice drop. I haven't done an update in a while, guys, but I just been busy with my own thing. But we are really at an intriguing spot in the chart right now, so that's the reason why I decided to update you guys for what I'm seeing. Let's look at a more macro sense on the markets. 2 weeks ago, I was calling for a top based on the bigger time frame. So we are due for a pullback based on what I'm seeing on the monthly chart. Let's start with the monthly chart first. I've been calling this that this could be the third move up, 1, 2, 3. So it could be a 3 pivots to a top, which is also a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave. In the Elliott wave theory. Also, we have a time count built in. Markets like to move in numbers, guys, a series of numbers, and there is a time count built into this last pivot move, and that's why I was calling for a top. We also hit the top of this trend line pretty much at the very top of the range of this trend line that we've been riding since 2009. So that was another factor. So you kind of put those factors together. I am anticipating for at least a stall out here to a pullback. Okay, guys. Right now the pullbacks have been very shallow. So right now the buy to dip mentality is still live. We are still in bull market territory, but this is a good spot to test for the market right now because we are at the 50-day moving average on the daily chart. But let's go to the weekly right now. Weekly chart, you also had a time count built in on this move, so that now we're also getting another time count into support. So I am anticipating for a bounce here in this market. Let's go back to the daily chart now. Let me show you guys the spot I'm looking at right now. If you went long today, that's a decent spot at the close or at this gap window. It's a decent spot, the 50% retracement. If that doesn't hold, the optimal spot, guys, I'm telling you right now, to get long in the intraday time frame and holding that for a multi-day run would be right here, guys, at the 159.60. You have so many factors here. You have this upper trend line that we've been riding for several weeks now, actually since 2012. So several months we've been riding this trend. So this is more of a bigger trend as well, and we're right at that right now at the support. So look for that to hold. Moving average, the 61.8 Fibonacci retracement from this pivot low. If you take it from this pivot low on, I believe it's April 18th, 2013, we do have a nice run up right here and a Fibonacci retracement as well. So 618, okay, into a gap fill, 50% reach. 61.8 Fibonacci retracement, 50-day moving average, and a gap fill. And this was the last breakout as well. Okay, guys, on that jobs number, I believe. So that's going to be some solid support. I will be going long there, no doubt about it. Right there at the pierce of the 160 level, that's your optimal spot. You could start if you're a smarter trader. You could be kind of nibbling right here, kind of getting in right now, building your position, and ready for a bigger move. But in the longer term, I think this is a shorter term bounce because in a bigger time frame, it is showing that there should be a bigger correction on the way. But we'll see. We'll just play it 1 week at a time, 1 day at a time. Right now, I am anticipating a short term bounce here, maybe for 3 days, a few days here, and we'll see how the pattern develops. Okay, guys. So that's what I'm looking at on the SPY. Let's look at the IWM. Some other charts that are pretty similar, heading towards that 50-day moving average. The IWM. Qs just as well. I believe it hit that gap fill right here, gap window. So right into gap window there, and pretty much closed right at the gap window. Let's look at the IYT. Just another. Just another indicator. Let's look at the Dow Transport. Just another indicator that should be noted that we did break below the 50-day moving average. So what we want to see here, if it's going to break down more, if we get another confirmation, close below this low. But I don't believe we'll get that since we are in support on all the other indexes and major stocks. So I do anticipate this is not going to confirm below the low of this candle here by tomorrow or the next few days. Let's look at Google. Google really quick. Pretty much making just kind of a bullish a consolidation pullback. I wouldn't categorize it as a bull flag because the move is a little too steep for my liking. I like more of a straight to slightly negative pullback in this range. So this I wouldn't categorize as a bull flag, but it's still nonetheless still a bullish consolidation pattern. So let's look where you might want to enter on Google here. Nice little up move already. Let's take a fib from the recent high to low, and we are at the 382 retrace. From what I'm seeing right now, just really quickly, the 50% retracement with the 50-day moving average rising and this last pivot. That's your spot right now, guys, to go long on. And it kind of coincides with the markets too, the 50-day moving average. So in a few days, if this rises up into the 50% retracement, any drop into this area, that's your buy right here on Google at 842-ish forward right there. That's a nice little area right there. Let's look at a weekly chart, see if we can find anything else that more confluences at that level. Yeah, you pretty much have the 10-week moving average rising into that level as well. So that looks like a decent spot on Google. Let's look at Apple. Apple, I've been calling. I haven't updated you guys for a while, but if you guys recall my last video, I mean these lines are still in there. My last video on Apple, I called that Apple should head higher, and it's probably going to form an inverse head and shoulder pattern. And so far, that's still in play. I mean, it made a nice little pullback here into the 618 Fibonacci retracement. Nice little gap fill here, a gap window-ish area right here in this, right in this vicinity, and got a nice pop, kind of holding this range right here, this last pivot low. So once it recaptures a low like this, that's going to be support and on the way down. So you broke through this low, recaptured it, and now that's going to be support again. So sure enough, on the way down, that's the level you're seeing. Also, it's kind of a gap fill area here as well, and of course the 618 Fibonacci retracement. Okay, so nonetheless, that's still the chart on Apple. Nice little. It could be a bottoming inverse head and shoulder pattern here, but let's see if it breaks out here on volume and to see if we can get that move. And it's funny how I kind of told you guys in the last video that there has to be like even spacing here on these head and shoulders. These shoulders here have to be nice, evenly spaced. And sure enough, it's kind of just riding my my imaginary right shoulder that I drawn in several weeks ago, and sure enough, that's coming to fruition. It's very easy to check that, guys. I believe the last video was probably a few weeks ago, and we were probably sitting right around here, and before this even formed. So it is forming that right shoulder on the inverse head and shoulder. It's not it's preliminary still, so it has to clear this area first. So let's see. There's another level you can watch on Apple. The last pivot high will also be important. Let me draw that in just as for you guys really quick as a reference point right there. So you want to see clear these levels right here and get a nice clean breakout on Apple. Okay, let's look at, is there anything else? I want to take a quick look at Amazon. Looks like a pretty cool chart to look at. Let's look at Amazon. Pretty much still in this range, but believe it or not, guys, you know, it's looking pretty bullish here on Amazon, because if you look at the overall pattern, this could be considered up move and bullish consolidation. A nice tight range, it's a nice pattern, and like I said, we don't normally break out in the third hit, so this could be categorized as a third hit, but we are consolidating above moving averages, above the 200, and we are consolidating in a bullish manner. So let's see if we can continue to bake in here and get a nice move, because the moving averages are starting to come up now, spaced apart here. So it's kind of maybe signaling that this uptrend might continue, but we just have to see how it all plays out. Let's look on the weekly chart and see what the pattern looks like. But right now we're in this range, and we're consolidating to possibly build strength to bust through it, because we are above moving averages. Look on the weekly chart really quickly and see what kind of pattern. Yeah, pretty much the same deal here, just on the bigger time frame. Let's go on a monthly chart, see. Yeah, above all moving averages. So Amazon looks like, you know, it's still a good looking chart, believe it or not. Still a nice looking chart. And until it breaks this low here, I mean, you gotta give it benefit of the doubt to the upside on Amazon. So once again, guys, when I'm looking on the SPY really quick, just to recap it, I'm gonna buy the 160 area right here. You kind of take a few nibble here, and then ultimately the full position at the gap fill here, and that'll be a very nice spot for a nice short-term bounce in this market. Okay, guys, so that's what I'm looking at. The measure move also takes you down if it's a 1, 2, 3 wave pattern. The triangular pattern of this symmetrical triangle as well. The measure move takes you roughly in that vicinity as well. Let me draw it out. If you measure the breakdown, it takes you right in this area. Okay, guys, so let's see if it gets there tomorrow. It'll be a nice bounce area. I will be longing some SPY calls, or either long the E-mini future at that spot. Okay, guys, I just want to do a quick update just to let you guys know I'm still here, still breathing, still live, and still profiting in this market. Just been busy with my own stuff and just have not had time to do videos. Okay, guys, hope you guys have a great one. I'll check you guys later.